Hey everyone, I'm Steve with South of Sanity Farms, and in today's video I wanted to talk about our Airbnb business. A lot of people ask us about this part of our farm because they're considering it themselves, and so I hope today's video will help people, and maybe that's you if that's why you're watching this video, come to a decision on whether Airbnb is a good fit for you and your family. So stay tuned. Our Airbnb setup is fairly unique. Our farm sits on about 15 acres. Susie and I, we raise our 5 children in the main residence. We have a barn and several outbuildings, and of course our 4 Airbnbs. We have a farm store and soap room where we make and sell our goat milk soaps and skincare products, along with other things made on our farm. We also sell raw goat milk, chicken and quail meat, and chicken and quail eggs. Our property has a chapel, a small playground, a swimming pool, and a 2-acre pond that's great for fishing and canoeing. As far as animals go, we currently raise horses, a meat cow, dairy goats, sheep, rabbits, chickens, quail, ducks, and a pig. And then we also have 3 dogs and 2 cats on the property. We strive to make every guest feel comfortable while staying on our farm. So if we have a guest that wants solitude and privacy, then of course we respect that. However, everyone that comes here is encouraged and welcome to join us and participate in as many farm activities as they desire or enjoy the farm at their leisure. So hopefully this kind of gives you a little bit of a picture of our farm. So now let's go jump into talking about our actual Airbnbs. Our first Airbnb is the Getaway. It's a 34-foot fifth wheel camper. Having zero experience with Airbnb, this was a great way to test the waters to see if we would even enjoy it. Plus, we already had water and septic in place, and my parents brought the camper here where they lived for about a year while they were building a new house 20 minutes away. Once their house was finished, they no longer needed the camper and sold it to us. So it couldn't have been any simpler to go this route and get started on Airbnb. Our second Airbnb is the Cottage. In a traditional setup, it would be called an in-law suite. It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath home that sits behind our personal residence and shares a large deck. This was the one I personally had the most hesitancy about because at this point we hadn't had a ton of experience through Airbnb. With it being so close to our house, am I going to be comfortable having complete strangers staying right next to us? We have 2 more Airbnbs to show you, so obviously it ended up being good, but I'll talk more about this in the next section of our video when we talk more about our personal experience. But before we get to our next 2 Airbnbs, if you're enjoying this video and you haven't done so already, be sure to hit the button and subscribe to our channel. We plan to post new videos every week that share our lives and our homesteading journey. Our third Airbnb is where we really start to get creative, and that brings us to the U-Haul. It's an old U-Haul truck bed converted into a tiny home. It has a great spot by the barn where guests can enjoy their morning coffee with goats at their feet and enjoy beautiful sunsets over the pond. It features a queen bed and sofa, a TV and Blu-ray player, a mini fridge, toaster oven, coffee pot and hot plate in the kitchen, and a small shower, sink, and composting toilet in the bathroom. Our fourth Airbnb is our silo house. Now this was my most favorite project. It was challenging both mentally and physically, but it came together beautifully. The silo house came down from Kentucky, stacked on a 16-foot trailer. With some help, 2,500 nuts and bolts, a few prayers, and maybe a few 4-letter words, we were able to get this thing back together. With a queen bed and twin bunk beds, it sleeps 4 comfortably. It has a full bath, full kitchen, and a great spot overlooking the pond. We plan to do a separate video that will cover all the details of this build, so be sure to watch for that video in the future. So I want to share with you 2 main things that our farm has that kind of work in our favor for success. The first one is that we appeal to a wide range of travelers. Some of this is our doing and some of it's just kind of luck of location when we bought this place. So we have guests that come for a relaxing retreat where they can read a book down by the pond or sit in a hammock or just pray in the chapel, whatever they want to do. And then we have families that come here for 2 and 3 night getaways that just want to enjoy the farm activities and chores and play with the animals. And so for a lot of people, we are the destination, which is a really cool thing for us, to be that for so many people. But for other people, they're just passing through. So our farm is close to Talladega and Barber Motorsports, so we get race traffic from that. We're 10 minutes from Logan Martin Lake, where they have fishing tournaments, so fishing teams will stay here. We're close to numerous wedding venues, and we're not but a few minutes off the interstate of I-20 between Birmingham and Atlanta, which is a heavily traveled road. So people that are just passing through and they're just looking for a nice, safe, quiet place to rest their head for one night, we provide that for them as well. So if you're considering starting an Airbnb, look around and see what your area has to offer. Besides the things that I've already mentioned, maybe you're close to a major metropolitan area that offers thousands of attractants per year for people, or close to a corporate office that brings in clients and upper level management. Or maybe you're close to churches that host seminars and retreats. There's an endless number of reasons that people are traveling, so spend a little bit of time evaluating the need in your area. And when you're evaluating that need, I know a lot of people check out the competition, and it makes complete sense. I'm sure any successful company has a ton of people that do their homework on potential competitors. For us personally, we don't do that. We aren't looking to build a traditional business. So our dreams and our lifestyle are the model for our Airbnb business, and not the other way around. And as long as we do this, we will be unique. And if another comes along and copies us, well, then we become the original. So we chose to operate this way because of the second and probably the most important reason for our success. And so the second main reason of why we're successful on Airbnb is simply that we love what we do. Having the opportunity to welcome so many people and see them enjoy our farm, it's such a blessing. Seeing people come here and relax, telling us that they feel like family, makes us feel like we're right where God wants us to be. Now, as far as money goes, yeah, it pays the bills. On our scale, I don't see it as a path to get rich, if that's what you're looking for. But my advice would be, if you don't love it, don't do it. As far as our experience goes with Airbnb, let me just go ahead and get the negative out of the way. In 1,200 plus stays, we've had just one bad experience. It was supposed to be a husband, wife, and daughter that were just passing through, but when they pulled into the driveway, it was 2 van loads of people. I mean, I'm thinking 16, maybe 18 people total. And they were staying in the cottage, which is really only set to host 5 people. So way more people than what we were allowed, but obviously there's some other stuff going on there. Fortunately, I was up when they pulled in, so I went out and just let them know, hey, this isn't the place for y'all to stay. And they left fairly peacefully, but I have no doubt that if I allowed them to stay, that they would have trashed my place. So prior to this, though, we allowed anyone to instant book. But after this experience, we changed it to where you can't instant book, unless you have all positive reviews. And so that way it gives us an extra little chance to, if there's something that we just don't feel quite right about, we can ask questions or, inquire for more details. And then based on their answers to our questions, we can either accept or decline their request to stay with us. And so it just gave us a little bit more peace of mind and a little bit more control over, who stays here on our farm. So, and since we've done that, we haven't had any more problems. So now that that's out of the way, let me just go ahead and say that our family loves Airbnb. I mean, it's been such a cool experience for us getting to share our farm with people, from all over the world. And I promise you, I do not say this lightly. Airbnb has really restored my faith in humanity. The news, it highlights extremists and evildoers, and rarely the good. So if you watch enough of it like I did, you know, without realizing, you become brainwashed and, you know, to judge and assume the worst about people. You know, for the past 3+ years that we've been on Airbnb with our over 1,200 stays, I'd say 99.99% of our guests help me to see that the world is good and people are good. We've fished with the French, we've laughed with Russians, we've processed chickens with Cubans, we've had faith discussions with British and Chinese, we've enjoyed wine with Germans, we've processed hogs with Californians, which that was one of my all-time favorite days. So if that young couple's watching this video, that was just the highlight of our Airbnb experience so far. But we've worshiped on Sunday with many, and we've shared hugs and tears with countless more. People are good. I hope you enjoyed our Airbnb video. If I left you with any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below and we'll be happy to answer them. And if you want to come for a visit, we'll put the links to our Airbnbs in the description below as well. Hope to see you next time.